I was making money, but I wasn't working for the money. My father watched a program I've seen on TV called Prestige Pawnbrokers. And my father said, "You be good at that, son." And then I ran into an issue with James. You take a loss and you accept it as a percentage of the business.
What are some of the lessons that you've learned that someone could actually incorporate if they wanted to start this kind of business?
Don't do it. I'm talking about the good part of the business. But the bad part was seeing people struggling.
Do you have any advice for working with a partner?
It's really hard. In regards to friends, I don't think it works at all.
How did you make sure none of it was counterfeit?
So you got machines in-house, which are AI intelligence.
AI basically tells you whether or not it's counterfeit.
We did not know the power of social media. 2 years worth of training with my daughter. She goes on the screen. I got this Rolex in and it's a Submariner and it's £8,000. And it was like,
Do you ever think about like the privacy element or the security element?
I had a massive concern in regards to her safety.
Have you ever had a situation?
Yeah, loads of threats. But then what happened was...
Hey guys, before we get into this episode, I just want to say the more subscribers we get, the better the guests are. People come on, the bigger our channel is. So if you want more conversations like this on how people did it, subscribe now. It would really help a lot. Enjoy the episode. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, honestly.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
So, very beginning, because we're all about the practical here.
Of course.
So, how'd you get started?
The way Love Luxury started was in COVID. So
Was
we
it?
had time.
Okay. Interesting.
I had shops that were buying and selling all types of things. It was like pawnbroker style business.
Yeah.
Because we don't do pawnbroking because of my religious belief. We don't
Right.
we don't do interest-based business.
Right,
Okay,
okay.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah, due to like Islamic belief.
I've been learning about that recently, actually. Yeah.
So then we had to close up the businesses throughout COVID because of the government. They were like, you can't open up. But then there was a board. I mean, it was like a thin line between helping people who need money. So they let you sort of open up, but not really open up because people needed money. So
Yeah,
people needed so we were needed in COVID. But then there was a borderline, like some police would go, oh, you can or you can't, or you got to speak to the local council. And they were like, you know what? I turned my stores into charity shops.
Wow.
Okay.
So then I took all the stock away. I was handling one store. My wife was in one of my other stores. And we just turned it into like just giving away for free toilet paper. So I went to Booker's Cash and Carry. I made an account with them. I went in, bought loads. They're like, you can't buy loads. It's like, yeah, I'm giving it away. I'm not storing it. Yeah, it's just to give to people who are struggling. Because I found part of like my belief system is that we feel like we're blessed. Yeah, I feel like I'm blessed. Yeah, in a way where if you got food, we need the minimal to live. You don't need loads to live. You need the food. You need your shelter. You need your family. You need love, and that is it. It's not a lot. That's not a lot. So then I realized that we were blessed above and beyond that, and it was time for us to help others, and that was an opportunity for us to sort of give back. So
It's almost like zakat in a way. It's like related.
zakat
to zakat,
massive.
Yeah.
I mean, zakat is compulsory.
So I should probably say, do you want to explain what zakat is? Just for,
It's we being Muslim, we have to give a certain percentage of our wealth away to people who are in need, and it's part of our religion. So every day I sort of wake up and I talk about charity. It's something that I feel as if though I have to do, and I was made for. I always put it against like having 1,000 bananas on the table. They're gonna rot. I can't eat them all. Let's feast together.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
You can't take it to the grave with you.
You can't take it all with you. I provide for my family and for many other families, as well as I have big ambitions to sort of help out a lot of people, and that's my ultimate goal. But in regard, now we go back to the business of when we were giving, and at that time, the police came to my stores and said, "You can't even be giving this away. Give it to the food banks who will give it away." And for me, it was like, but I want to give it away.
Yeah.
Like I want to give it to someone and sort of give one roll, a bit of rice, a bit of pasta, the sauce, and maybe money to some people that I felt really needed it. And then I'd say, come back tomorrow and come again and again and again. And then by the end of the week, we sort of ran out, and then we went back again. And the police were like, you can't do this. Yeah, as in, you're not a registered charity. But then, I done like a vote online, and people were like, yeah, just give it to the food banks.
Right.
And sort of go through that way.
It's just not the same though, is it?
It's not the same.
Yeah, you want to be there.
I
giving
wanted
it out,
to
yeah.
be the,
Yeah, I get
at the front line. We ended up having to close because we sort of like were 50-50. Some people were like, yeah, great, you guys are amazing, and other people were like, oh my god, you're doing the wrong thing. And it's like, all right, no problem. So me and my wife decided we'd just go home and just chill because everyone was relaxing. So we couldn't work, we couldn't give away free things to people, and I went home to Knightsbridge, and I just started working from home, and I started dealing with people that I was dealing with on the high end side. So they would come to my house and drop it off at the door because you couldn't come in. So it'd be like a postal service. So there you go, and then I'll take it at the door and say thank you so much. I'll call you. But then the pieces that were taken in were like Richard Mille watches that were 100, 200,000 pounds.
Wow.
And that were like big pieces. And that's how I was doing my business. It's like really strong high end watches.
Okay,
But you sorry, I was just going to say, like you were saying you were doing this sort of work before you started Love Luxury. Can you just give us a bit of a premise as to sort of how you got into this world prior to COVID, and what steps you took to sort of get it started?
So pre-COVID, I was I think I was around 25. I mean, this was like years ago. Yeah, I'm like 36.
Not that long ago.
Yeah, not that long ago.
Yeah.
And I was sort of stuck in between what to do. I was doing e-commerce. I had the beauty clinics. I was running like CNC and like plastic items throughout China into the UK, and I felt very successful buying and selling a lot and sort of distributing it throughout the UK mainland. And I was sitting with my father, and my father said to me, what you can do now? As in, the money's coming in. Because with e-com, you source, you find your supplier, you put it online, and it's just really, changing the listing from 0 to I've got 1,000 in stock because it hits the country. FLB comes to my warehouse, my father's warehouse, where I had a partnership with him, my father's company, and it lands. He's got so much stuff. So it's all done for me. I didn't feel like I was working anymore. I was making money, but I wasn't working for the money. So, I was like, I've got money. Well, don't really know what to do now. And I was watching a program. Or my father watched a program. And then I was watching that same program. I've seen it on TV called Prestige Pawnbrokers.
Yeah, we had James Constantino on.
Yeah,
it.
James.
I was gonna say,
So, and my father said, "You be good at that, son. Yeah, you be good at that. As in, that's something that you be good at." So I was like, "Do you think so?"
Why do you think he said that?
But, I mean, he knows me. He knows me well enough to know that he thought I'd be a good negotiator. I'd be good at brokering deals. And he was like, like he sold a helicopter, and like he sold a Ferrari, and he bought a like $100,000 diamond, etc. And I was like, yeah, it's a bit of me. As in, it's fun. It'd be a fun thing to do. So when I started the businesses, it was called We Buy for Cash, but the business wasn't what I thought it'd be. It wasn't hard. It was easy because I felt I was good at the job. But it was like more low end stuff. Just like phones.
I was gonna say We Buy for Cash sounds like the
cash converter.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was very similar to a cash converter. But I enjoyed buying the Rolexes, and I enjoyed buying the expensive items like the Hermes and the Chanel. And I had like a section in the store, and people would walk in and go, "You got a laptop for 300 quid, but you got an Hermes bag for 15 grand." Like it just didn't match up. But then I enjoyed the like the Rolex at the time, the Omegas, the Cartiers. It wasn't Richard Mille, it wasn't Patek Philippe, it wasn't an AP, because they're really these are like over 40,000-50,000, and these type of stores you don't really get that clientele through the door because it's just you don't get that clientele walk in and go, I want to spend 50 grand on a watch in like a pawnbroker style business.
In a cash converter.
Yeah, in a cash converter.
Where was this business based?
That was in Hackney.
Okay.
Yeah, in E8 Dalston. And then I ended up opening another store on Roman Road, and then I started opening up stores around London and giving them out to people that I trained up to work within the business to understand how to make it work quite well.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt. If you're enjoying the episode so far, please consider hitting the like button. It really helps us out when it comes to growth, and it will tell YouTube that we should make more content like this. How did you even get the skills to know how to value that? Because I think a lot of people would be like, I think I'd be good at that in terms of negotiating and everything, but I have no idea how to value a gold bracelet that comes in.
So I hired someone that was working for a cash converter, and he trained me. So he had a lot.
You hired him, and
I hired him.
You hired him, and he trained you.
Yeah, I mean he like indirectly trained me.
Yeah.
Because he came in and said, "Oh, we do it like this. You're doing it wrong." So I was like, "Oh, what have I got to do?" And he goes, "No, you put this in the front window, and then you put these type of signs up, and this is what the clients want." And then gold would come in, and he'd look at the gold, and he'd go, "Yeah, it's 18 karat." Then he weigh it on a scale, and he give a price. I'm like, "How'd you do that?" He goes, "Oh, I go here, I check the price, I can scrap it there, I could do this, I can do that." And I was like, "Oh, that was easy." But then within like a week, you sort of know, and then you sort of learn how to test the gold. He goes, "I've got an acid, I'll do this." I said, "Like, what do you look out for?" He goes, "Oh, if it goes green, it's fake. Oh yeah, if it stays yellow, it means hiding 18 karat gold." And then I bought the acid, and then I bought the gold tester, and then I bought the scales. So then I was ready to buy gold.
Yeah. Okay.
And then like, with a mobile phone, he says you got to make sure it doesn't get blocked. Make sure it's open to all networks. He puts all the SIM cards in, and it's open to all networks. He goes, "Yeah, this is good. You can buy it from them. It won't have a problem with selling it, and then someone come back." And then like with a laptop, and then with DVD player, make sure that it covers all DVDs as opposed to just UK DVDs.
Yeah, okay.
Because some people want to buy DVDs from abroad, and you got to make sure that it's working.
I wouldn't even have thought.
Yeah, no, I agree. So where did you get your initial stock from then?
People walking in.
Okay.
Yeah, initially I put my clothes in the store.
Just to fill up space.
Just fill up
basically.
space because I had
Right.
space. So I'd put my shoes, my top, like I had a Versace top up, I put in the window, that's like 400 quid.
Yeah.
I put like Louis Vuitton shoes. I didn't want to sell them.
Yeah.
I had no stock.
And so also as you said, so because of Islamic law, obviously you can't charge interest. So was this a thing where they were bringing the items in and you were just basically buying the items from them?
That's correct.
Right.
So basically, you come in, you come with the cup. I say I'll give you 5p for the cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you see if see for sale for 10p.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on the window. But everyone buys everything. So you can walk in with these microphones. You can walk in with a stand.
Yeah.
Because I can sell a stand on eBay. Because eBay was a massive part of learning the lower end part of the business. Because if you go to eBay, and we can put in these microphones, we'll put in Shark, put in the model number, go to sold listings. It tells you what it's sold for.
I
we've
used
seen
to.
that.
We were talking.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I did
Gary Vee
this
did
for
that
like
as well.
6 months. I was doing this. I got that from Gary Vee years ago when he was saying the whole like go to garage sales thing.
Yeah.
And so I did that. I would go to car boot sales on Sunday mornings, and I would buy like kids toys, and I would see like a kid's toy, and I would scan it.
Yeah, you
find
can scan it on the
completed
Yeah.
listings, sold listings, see what it's selling for, minus postage and packaging and like Hermes fees. Okay, cool,
20%,
done.
20%,
20%,
half that.
Exactly.
Easy money.
So that's exactly
Yeah.
what I did. Yeah.
So it's exactly the same thing, and with new products, it's easier because you can scan it.
Yeah.
But with products that don't have packaging, you just put the model number in.
Yeah.
And then you find sold listings, you check it, and you say, I can sell it easily for $2,000, like a camera, like an A7S or an A7S, for example.
I'm curious to hear your thought because I found that it got to the point where it just wasn't sustainable because the items were too low ticket. My margins were crazy, but the price was so low. I mean, I would buy like a little Mickey Mouse plush toy, and I could buy it for 50p, and I'd sell it for £5. So the margins are insane. But I'm like, when you take away like postage fees, printing the label, taking it to the thing, it's obviously hardly any money, and so you have to do crazy volume. So how did you make eBay work in terms of like lower end items to make it worth the actual hassle of like doing the labeling, dropping it off, wrapping it,
Crazy
listing
volume.
it? Crazy volume.
Yeah, so
Okay.
really pushing out. So I had like 2-3 people just packing in the back.
Right.
So so something comes in, I just say list it, get it for sale, cheaper than everyone else, low to high. It's selling for £1,000. 10 people have it on eBay for 1,000. We paid 350, 400 quid for it. Listed for 950.
Right.
Sold first.
Okay.
Because you put yours up, and you've had yours up for a week at 1,000, 1,001 because you went under him. I've done 950. I've just got
Yeah.
£50 under you because I want to sell it now.
Yeah.
Somebody messages you and says, "Oh, I got 2 of them. I want 2 more."
Okay.
So I'll take both of them from you for 850 each. He said, "You know what? 900 quid is yours. Done. It's already a profit.
Yeah.
It's in and out.
That's so true.
Yeah, you paid for it. It's gone back in the bank. You pay your VAT on that. Bob's your uncle. That's it. The money's back in the bank, and you can reuse that money again and again. And I started doing it with everything. So it became like you could buy a camera, you could buy microphones, you could buy tables, you could buy TVs. And my account went from being a small account doing hundreds of thousands within the first year.
Wow.
So
okay.
it's not a lot of money compared to other businesses, but it's a lot of money for a little shop.
Yeah.
No, that's not to be
definitely.
sniffed at. Hundreds
Yeah.
of thousands a year. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you're like, but then my ambition was like, no, I need to have 1,000 of these shops, and if I can let people run it and earn 50 grand a shop. I wasn't looking at 100,000, just 50 grand a shop, because I knew it can do 100,000 with me there, but I'm not going to be there.
So how did you grow it then? Obviously, you said you put your clothes in the store initially just to fill up space and try and draw some
People
people
start coming in.
How did you get the word out there? How did you get people to actually come through?
I think it was just the area.
It's like natural footfall.
Yeah, natural footfall. Because I was in E8 Kingston Road, people on the buses would come and see a big red shop, because at first I was yellow.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, Richard Branson red. Literally, I was like, Richard Branson said red was the colour.
Yeah.
So I changed the whole colour from yellow to red. And people are like, oh, have you got 2 shops now? I'm like, no. They're like, but your shop was yellow. It's red.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it went red because I read, I Googled the best colour for converting.
Yeah.
clients.
It's like an emotional color.
The emotion, So I literally Googled the colour and I was like, I gotta go red. And I went red because I was like, I gotta do what I gotta do to make the business. If it improves it by 20%, that's 20%. And to me, that's massive in any business. So I turned it red, and it was word of mouth. It built up. A customer walks in, they have a good experience, they come back again. Yeah, they have another good experience.
There's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, I knew after the first year, I started making money. Oh, actually, I didn't know. I sort of felt like hopefully I'll start making some money. Yeah, and after a year went by, I was sort of like breaking even, and I could sort of like walk away from other bits because I thought I can concentrate on this business and sort of scale it. But I've got to learn from ground up.
What sort of percentage would you say was people buying things from walking in the store and being like, oh, I'll have that, compared to eBay?
eBay 85-90%.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
online was all online.
And I'm guessing you listed everything you had in the store on eBay. as well.
Everything,
Yeah.
even a DVD. I had a Godfather DVD on there, the full collection. $16.99.
You literally, it's everything. You're selling like everything and anything.
Yeah. You know, you have a camera 3-4 grand.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you know, have laptops 2-3 grand. It wasn't really high end. So you know, I think maximum was like 5,000-6,000 for like a Chanel bag.
With things like cameras, or even if it was with designer, is it a case where like he walks into your shop and he's like, I've got this camera, you just kind of go behind the till, go on eBay, type in the models, see what it's been sold listings, and then be like, all right, I'll do it for this price based on that?
Exactly that.
So you don't have to be an expert in cameras, bags, and watches.
No, but you have to be an expert in shutter count.
Expert
In shutter count.
shutter count.
Shutter count. The cameras have a shutter count, meaning how much has been clicked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah? So it's mileage. So cameras have mileage.
Okay.
So I didn't realize that until.
Neither did we.
I didn't realize that. Brilliant.
Yeah, so
we'll check that.
Yeah, until you know, you sell a camera for a couple of grand, and the person says, "I want to return it," and you're like, "Why?" And they're like, "Oh, the shutter count's too high," and you're like, "What's a shutter count?"
But you learn going through it, as you said, right?
Yeah.
It's just you pick it up as you go.
So the people, when they ask for like, you know, a refund, I'd always offer a partial refund. Oh, do you want a partial refund? Yeah, they say, oh yeah, how much? I literally would just say, I'll give you half the money back, because I wouldn't want it back, because I've got so much coming in that you take a loss and you accept it as a percentage of the business. So if it's less than, you know, I'd say it was less than 1%. So I was happy to give people refunds. And if it was like a DVD and they're like, oh, I don't really want it, or it's scratched, whatever, I said, I'll refund you, keep it. It's cheaper to keep it than it is to send it back, pay the postage, put it up again, and then send it, have the same problem. I said, keep it, I apologize, you know, full refund, and please accept my apology.
If you were going back to it, what are some of the lessons that you've learned that someone could actually incorporate if they wanted to start this kind of business?
Don't do it.
Cool. Right. Next question. What were you going to say?
I was going to have a chat.
But the reason being, because I found it really stressful. Because it wasn't, you know, I'm talking about the good part of the business, making money, you know, like learning, understanding. But the bad part was seeing people struggling. And it was like profiting from someone that's struggling is really difficult, especially when you're from faith.
Yeah.
So then like somebody walks in and you see them struggling and you're like, this is a business.
Yeah.
Like you have to make money, and then they're like, oh, I know you can sell it for £1,000. Could you give me £950? And you're like, well, if I sell it online, I'm gonna pay the fees, pay the taxes, pay this, pay that. Even if I make 100 quid, I still got to give you 600 quid out of it. Even at 100 quid profit, you still got to pay 600, because if you calculate it after VAT, after tax, after staff, after rent, after listing, after the headache of messaging back and forth on eBay, 20-30 messages, having that person deal with that, and the person returns it. You know you have to pay a certain amount of money, and you learn that later on. And people go, oh, but look, it's worth that, but you're paying that. It's because you don't understand the process.
The back end.
It's not easy. And then somebody walks in, and then like somebody walks in and says, oh, I've got a phone, you know, I just need 20 quid. And you're like, and they really need 20 quid. Yeah, and then you sort of like, you know, they come out the next day and go, I want my phone back, and I've got my daughter's pictures on it, my wife's pictures on it, and you're like, and then you just give it back. Because it came to that point where I was just take it. But then they'll come back with it again, and you're like,
really?
Yeah, you're like, I can't do it. And they're like, oh, please, 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 please. And they're begging you, and you're like, just take a tenner. But then you become a charity shop.
Yeah, true.
Because then I started giving out money to people, and people would rely on me to give them money. Because I was making enough money, I was like, all right, I'll give part of it as charity. But it wasn't charity. I felt like I was just doing a disservice to them. And then if I did help them, I felt like it wasn't right, because I felt like I'm helping them and they're going around in a circle. And I had another store, and my wife was, you know, I asked my wife, do you want to, you know, like, we were in the beauty business. So we used to do beauty business, like lip liner, eyeliner, microblading, Botox, fillers, teeth whitening.
You offer those as services?
Yeah, I used to have a clinic in Central London at the same time.
Wow.
Wait, okay. So hang on, you had a clinic, but you were also selling. You were doing e-com at the same time.
Yeah, so I had e-com, which is an e-com platform of buying and selling from China, CNC price items, and then I had the treatment clinics from when I was like 22 years old, and then at the same time that was running. And then I thought, let me start the buying and selling business.
Yeah.
And then I thought, let me expand that. My wife was also doing beauty, and we had people working for us. So it was making its money.
Do you have any advice for working with a partner? Because I think we've touched on this with previous guests before.
Yeah.
And I think people have different philosophies. But I'm really curious to know, because that's something that I think a lot of people probably like the idea of, but they think the first thought, I guess, is, oh, you know, you're with each other all the time, and, you know, how do you get any space? How do you turn the work? How often go to personal? Do you have any tips for working with a partner?
Yeah, so I mean, there's two types of partners. You have a partner that you're married to. You have a partner that you might be going out with, and you have a business partner that could be a friend of yours. So we can touch on like free, you know, like I've had business partners who have been my friend.
Yeah.
I've had investors that I've worked with, and I've also worked with my wife. Yeah. And previously, I can't mention anything else because of my religious beliefs. I don't like talking about anything. But in regards to friends, I don't think it works at all.
Interesting. Why?
Yeah. Because with me, where I grew up, my ambition was different to my friends. So I'm looking at like taking over the galaxy, the universe. And my friend is like,
we've got something to say on that, but that's cool. Yeah.
And then my friend's like, oh yeah, but you know, let's take over this road. I'm like, this road's not big enough. So basically, I'm like in a Bugatti in my head, and then I feel like he's in a Nissan Micra. But he loves his Nissan, and I love his Nissan too. But his lane, in my lane, I'm putting my foot down. Yeah, I'm trying to get somewhere. I'm like, just come, let's go there. You know, I'll carry all of us. But then it comes to the point where I feel like I'm carrying everybody, and that to me hurts because I'm like, I'm putting in all of this effort, and I feel like not in a bad way. The effort's not enough. So if you're investing and I'm investing, and I'm putting in this much effort, I'm carrying you. I might as well invest it all and do it myself.
So do you think it doesn't work with friends purely because you couldn't find a friend that had the same level of ambition as you did?
Yes, and also if they did, I'd probably be worried. Like, oh my god, are we going to become
rivals?
Yeah,
very quickly because we are both very ambitious and extremely ambitious. So it can work with maybe someone investing in you as a person, but I didn't need the investment. That was my problem. I really wanted someone to work with and take half my load. And then I'm working with like two of me's, and instead of making 100 million, we're making 200 million or 300 million. I'm making extra 50 million by having him. I'm flatlining. We're gonna make 3 times that amount by having you on board.
I think we're gonna have to stand back on the other side of the fence on this because we're the exact opposite. Because we're best friends, and the workload is. We had this conversation this morning.
We literally did.
The workload is so perfectly distributed, and everything is so like down the line. And the trust as well, probably as I imagine you have with your wife, the same thing. It's just immeasurable.
It's invaluable as well.
So working with your wife.
Yeah.
So you said about the ambition, but I mean more in terms of like the day to day of like you're running a business with your wife. What's the dynamic like in terms of time together, time apart, rules, boundaries, that kind of stuff?
It's really hard because I'm 24/7 business, and my wife says, "Baby, you don't turn off." And the thing is, I just feel as if though I just don't want no one to stop me. Like I just said, babe, please just let me just die doing this. Like it's something that I feel as if though I have to do, and I really want to be able to achieve everyone's goals, not just my own, because I feel as if though I'm good. Like I can if I didn't have a wife or my kids, I'm good. Like I've got everything I want in my life, to be honest with you. I've got no stress whatsoever, but it's not my goal. It's not my ambition. It's more than that. So I need her, and I've needed her to understand, but working together in businesses, going home together, not like sort of shutting down. At the beginning, for the first 2, 3, 4 years, I think it was really difficult for my wife because she just didn't understand. She's like, you just don't shut off. You're talking business, talking money, talking this, doing that, this. It's always business.
That sounds like me.
Yeah. Like you're going out to eat, it's business. It's money. It's this venture. You thought about that, thought about this. Nighttime, I'm there working on Fiverr. Oh, how can I get this editor? I can do this. I can do that. I'm spending 20, 30 grand a month on wasting money on people trying. And she's like, babe, bro, what happened? I'm like, no, it's good. I've learned loads. And she goes, what did you learn? I said, I've learned not to use Fiverr ever again.
Tough lesson, mate. Yeah.
But it's my lessons. I paid I used to pay 3, 4 people to do the same job to see who does the best, and all that crap. It was fine. I learned, okay, don't use those 3, 4 people anymore.
That's testament to your relationship, though. Honestly, if she can see you for who you are and still think, right, okay, it's this is the person I want to be with, and actually dedicate time to, that's a real testament, especially if you're going at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
But then what happened was, after 3, 4, 5 years of being with me every single day, she turned into me. Like, meaning turned into that person that works hard.
She caught
infection.
The ambition.
Yeah, an infection. Yeah, it's because what would happen was I'd work till about 12 now. Instead of 2 o'clock, I'd work till 12 because I was getting tired. I was just overworking. And then she'd be awake 1 o'clock. I'd be like, babe, what are you doing? Oh, I'm working. I'll be like, oh, damn, it sounds like me. Yeah, and then I'll be like, babe, just put your phone down. Like, learn to shut down. She's like, look who's talking. And then she used it against me, and I'm like, oh, damn, is that how I was? And the thing is, she couldn't shut off. And then I realized that then what I wanted, then she started wanting she wanted something as well. So my ambition went onto her, and then now she has that grind. But I still have to we have to work together, because I'm still super ambitious. I've become more ambitious, and she's up, she's sort of upscaled in her ambition. I'm still pushing her. Oh, babe, this got to get done. That's got to get done. This got to get done. Even now.
We're quite far into the interview, and I realised we haven't actually touched on the main thing,
okay,
which is what we really want to drill into, which is obviously Love Luxury.
Of course, yeah.
So very successful business.
Thank you.
So you're doing the cash converter.
Yeah.
How do you then pivot to Love Luxury?
COVID shut down all the businesses.
So you flog off all your stuff?
Yeah. No, I still got it.
You still got the cash converter?
I've still got the stock.
Oh yeah.
Fine. Okay.
I flog off all the stuff. As in, we closed the shops down.
Yeah.
I sold some of them.
Okay.
The main flagship store, my father owns the building.
Okay.
So he just basically was like, son, what'd you do with it? And I was like, I got like 200-300 grand of stock just sitting inside. Just let me just leave it in there. I left for 2 years and I just gave it away. I literally was just, I can't be bothered with it. As in like, I don't have time to sell it. I'm making money. I don't have time for that. And my father was like, what'd you do with it? I'm like, could you get someone else? Get one of your little boys to go on eBay, sell it all. You know, if you get 200-300 grand out of it, just give me like 33% of the money. You guys keep the rest, give it to the staff, let them run it. So he said he can't do it. He ain't got time for that because he's way above beyond that. You know, he's a property guy, been doing it for years, buying loads. So I got someone else involved, just selling it, and they're keeping like most of the money. And they pay me whenever. I'm not really bothered about it whatsoever. And then I moved on to Love Luxury and really started focusing on high-end watches, and just buying and selling like Hermes.
So this is the door, like house sales that you were doing.
So the contacts that I made throughout the other industries, I sort of put them together. You know, called everyone and said, I'm now just dealing with just this.
But in those industries, because you're dealing with low-end offers, you're dealing with low-end clients. So how do you find, you know, from a cash converter in Dalston, you know, doing cameras and things like that, how do you find those high-end clients that are now being like, oh, I've got a 100 grand watch I want you to deal in?
So about 7-8 years ago, I was on eBay and I had some like handbags up for sale. And somebody contacted me and she came in and she's a reseller in a different country, and she was like, yeah, like, can I see these bags? And she's looking at it, she's like, I don't know who she was, but she was one of the biggest resellers in the world at the time. And she looked at the bag, she's like, how much is this? I said, 3.5 grand. She said, how much is that? 3.5. She goes, I'll take all of them. So I was like, whoa, what was that? What was that? Yeah, it's like a 50 grand deal. So I was like, wow, that was really good. And then somebody came in with like a Rolex Daytona, and then he sold it to me, and then I've moved it on. And then I started meeting, you know, 1 or 2% of the business was high end.
Okay.
So that 1 or 2%, I made a relationship up with these people because I was more interested to do business with them than I was with everyone else. So then my staff took care of the lower end bits. I had like 4 or 5 people working in the shop. They would all buy like the, you know, like the cameras and this. I've trained them, and I'm dealing the watches and the bags and the gold and the diamonds, all the high end stuff. So I was concentrating for about 2 years just on the high end bits. So then my 1% turned into 3, 4, 5%, but that was a strong 3, 4% because that's high end. So I can do 3, 4 times the amount of profit than they can do all year working with 6 of them, just me alone. So then I was like, well, let me just take that away.
You just double down on it.
Yeah, double down on it. So I'll take that away and then improve that, make a brand out of that. So I called it Prestige Buyers.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was like, Prestige Buyers. I'm a buyer. I'm a Prestige buyer now. We buy for cash. I'm a Prestige buyer. Yeah.
You're very logical with your names.
I love it. Cash for this.
Yeah. And then I was like, well, I'm, you know, because I'm a man, my brain was, it doesn't work as, it's not aesthetic. It's just like, I'm a prestige buyer. That's how I saw myself as, and I sort of got the name, as you can see, and then I started working from my clinic in Harley Street. I made one of the rooms into a prestige buyer's office because it's Harley Street, so people would come to W1G9QD, which is the postcode in Harley Street, and it's prestige area. It's a treatment road, but I was like, my clinics are there. I could be there. I want to be around the clinics. They're making money. That's making money. I'll start prestige buyers. Then I started prestige buyers, and then I ran into an issue with James.
Really?
Prestige pawnbrokers, yeah.
What issue do you have? If you don't mind.
Prestige.
Oh, is that what your trademark?
Yeah, trademark.
Oh,
so then I got a letter in the post, you know, like it's too close to Prestige pawnbrokers, but I said I'm not Prestige pawnbrokers. Yeah. I'm a buyer. And then it was like my trademark solicitor was like, either you fight this out and you spend 30-40 grand worth of money to potentially lose, and you really need the name. And I was like, oh, it's my name. I love it. You know, I'm a prestige buyer. It's nothing to do with him. We're not even on the same page. You know, he is far up. You know, I saw him as someone that's far up in the game. I'm not a threat to him.
Right.
But then I started growing. So I felt like he felt, I'm not a threat, but maybe I could be potentially a threat. I don't know what he thought. I got no problems, but he didn't want me to have that name. I said, no problem. So my wife was like, okay, let's find different names. So we started thinking of different names. We thought of 100 different names. And we tried it on Facebook. We even changed the business names. People were like, "Oh, it looks crap. It's crap. It's crap." Enchanted. We couldn't think.
Yeah.
You know, when you overthink, you can't think.
Can you share some of the more embarrassing ones that you came up with? Those are always the funny ones.
I think the worst was like Enchanted something.
Enchanted. Okay.
Yeah. As I don't know how it came up.
That's quite bad.
Yeah. It's weird. So it was like so bad. Yeah.
Enchanted.
Yeah. So then Emily was just like, you know, like that. Prestige buyers, we buy for cash. We love luxury because you want to do luxury, and because it's quite feminine. It's love. Yeah, it's not prestige. Is quite like masculine. Yeah.
That's true.
And then because she's like more feminine, she's like love luxury. It's quite soft. And I was like, but it doesn't have that oomph.
Yeah.
It doesn't give me that feeling of oomph. But the brand became way more powerful than it became 10 times oomph.
It's a really good name.
Yeah.
It's a really good name. Like the alliteration, and it's just slightly softer spoken. It's a really good name.
Yeah, so
Really good name.
now the brand is strong.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord. And at the end of the day, alhamdulillah. And it worked. We tried it, and we didn't lose any money, because I felt when we changed the name, we'd end up losing money. Like we lose clients, we lose this, but we actually done better with Love Luxury. So maybe it's like that blue to red color, that blue to red. So I think that Love Luxury was our red.
Okay.
Love Luxury is way more emotionally kind of responsive than prestige buyers.
Yeah. And then
Prestige Pawnbrokers works nicely because it's the alliteration. It's Prestige Pawnbrokers. It's like it fits. Prestige buyers compared to Love Luxury. Yeah, you picked the right thing.
So it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, I'll say it's Emily. Yeah, but it's our Lord. He gave us what he knew was right for us. Yeah, he blessed us with the right thought, the right plan, and it happened. And then from there we moved on. And then we had we're doing our buying, our selling, and then within the first year, I was like, we need to take a shop in Knightsbridge.
Just on that point, how did you, when you were getting stuff just mail ordered basically to your house, how did you make sure none of it was counterfeit? How did you make sure none of it was stolen? So what sort of stuff did you go through for that?
So like with handbags, it's like use a third party insurance company.
Yeah.
So you got machines in house which are AI intelligence.
Wait, hang on a second. AI basically tells you whether or not it's counterfeit.
Basically, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So basically, it picks up grain, stitching, color, hardware, serial numbers, and it picks up the major brands in the world. It's a company, they've made hundreds of millions, and they've been doing it. They started in America, and he made an AI program that works along the database, as you know how AI works, we know how it works, and it's done a really good job. And he provides an insurance certificate, and it works really well. But then at the same time, my background was authentication, because I used to work in my father's manufacturing companies in China as someone along the line for authentication. I've got a loop in my pocket. Like I carry one thing in my pocket and it's a loop. Yeah, and that was I got keys. Yeah. So at the end of the day, if you got a loop, I got a Zeiss loop. This is like the Bugatti of loops.
Okay.
Anybody out there knows this is the most expensive loop you can find.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a strong loop for authenticating bags, checking a diamond. I could check a diamond right now.
Can you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I could check it. Yeah.
How does it work?
It's a loop, so you can see clearly. It's blown up.
And you're just looking for impurities.
Impurity, clarity, color, cut, size.
Yeah.
I mean, size is easy to see, but the clarity, the color, to make sure it's on point.
That's got to come with training, though. Surely, or
that's
time.
Training.
Like you've got to look at a diamond and be able to see that. Surely.
Yeah, I mean, like you pick it up from looking at the chart, the grading chart. So when you got, I bought the GIA grading chart so many years ago, and you can see a diamond, and you put it towards the grading chart. So you get the diamond, you put it to the grading chart, and you're like, oh, it fits about here, and you look closer. Oh, it's between that I and that J. It's right in the middle. It's graded.
Obviously now you've got a massive brand name. You've got the reputation. You've been in the game for 15 years now. But in the beginning, you said you had a couple connections from when you were doing that. But as in, how did you get it off the ground in the beginning? Because that's I think the thing that people will be most curious about.
It's more social media. So when I first started, I was on Instagram a lot. And we used to try a lot of Instagram. I had somebody full-time working on it. And the woman who worked on it used to do a lot of aesthetic posts. So it wouldn't be us. It wasn't us as people. It was just like products, like, that cup, this. And we were building up followers from like 0 to like 20,000. And it was a struggle. I just felt like we were just like scraping the walls. And I'm like, why are we not growing?
We know the feeling.
Yeah.
At least it's not our main business.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But, like, why are we not growing? As in, like, why is it not growing? What are we doing wrong? Why are we just like plateaued? Yeah. As in, like, how do we get past this? And then, the unfortunate thing happens where, like, I've hired someone to work for us full time, and they're working for other companies whilst working in our company. They're not putting the effort in.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So then it's like if someone's, I'm not gonna say who it is, because it was she's on her phone, and then you go on and she just flicks, and what's going on? And then I find out she's working for other companies, she's getting paid whilst I'm paying her for a full time job.
Wow.
And then she was just doing one picture, one post, and done. And then I'm not understanding how much effort it is, because I'm not a social media person. So that's her job. And she's been doing freelancing for other people at the same time. She's building up her own brand. She doesn't want to be on any of our social medias because she don't anyone know she's in our company. And I'm like paying her full time. And I'm like, I didn't understand. And then my wife was like, there's something wrong. And we sort of like, we felt as though she was going to be in the company forever. Because we sort of like, this amazing person. She's great for the business. But not realizing it wasn't like she wasn't being truthful to us.
Yeah.
And then when we did find out, you can't work for us anymore. And then that was the best time. That was the best move that ever happened, because we found someone else who came on board, and I was like, now let's jump on it. Yeah, let's do this, let's do that. Let's show, guys, I got this lovely key, and like it's 400 million pounds. It's the best key in the world. Let's get it sold. And Emily was working really hard on social media. We started doing like our daughter, was our daughter at home. I say Rolex is home, and I was training her for when she was older. because I knew that this skill set would be effective when she's older. So I would take a Rolex home and I'll record on my phone. I got them from when she was younger, and she'd be like, "I got this Rolex in, and it's a Submariner, and it's £8,000, etc." But it was not for any social media because we were not social media company, and we did not know the power of social media until 2 years worth of training with my daughter. She goes on the screen,
and it was completely blown up.
And it was like, people were like, "Oh my god, like, is it a marketing genius?" But what?
It was novel.
Yeah.
Completely novel. Like, you didn't get, I don't know how old is your daughter?
10.
Yeah. 10. You just don't get 10-year-olds doing that kind of stuff.
So your 10-year-old daughter markets your products.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't now market the products because she gets them, and I buy a lot for my family.
Right.
I gift a lot. So being like a father, like me, I'm very giving. And people say, "Oh, you're too giving."
Well, I was going to say, I mean, do you worry about giving a kid that young stuff that's that expensive because they don't necessarily appreciate the value of it?
No, I mean, to be honest with you, no, because I don't want any man to come and take her, sweep her off her feet, just because they got a bit of money. Yeah.
I've never thought about that, but I actually really like that answer. Okay.
And the thing is, a lot of guys have got money out here.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of guys with a lot of money.
Yeah.
And especially, doing what I do, and women are like, "Oh, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong, but it's great,
That's
It's-
actually, that's actually a really good point because I'd never considered that.
hadn't, no.
It's like, bro, it's literally like Dave's line in Sprinter where he's like, "I love chilling with broke bitches, man. Book one flight and they all impressed." And it's like, that's so true. If you're buying,
I'm setting levels.
you're setting levels.
I'm setting way levels.
A guy pulls up in a whatever and she's like, "Yeah, that's nothing."
Yeah,
my dad's had me.
Yeah.
I was pulling up in the Bugatti. Yeah, he bought me a Bugatti, and that's actually that's actually a plan of mine. I want to buy my daughter a Bugatti, and I want to put it pink. And it's her car, and I want her to drive it. I want her to have a driver and go to school in a Bugatti. So she's setting levels to herself because she has to learn.
So what are you doing then to kind of teach your kids about business?
So I'm now spoiling them. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So with
just end it there.
Yeah.
so with your daughter, is it a thing where when she gets to 15, 16,
Boom!
you're like,
rent's
coming.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, because you've now tasted. Because I tasted a lot of that goodness.
Yeah.
But then I didn't really understand. But my daughter's been working already. So I didn't get to work at 10. She's working at 10 because she's got to put effort in. Because she now understands if you want the finer things in life, you have to work for it. Daddy worked for it, mommy's worked for it, granddad's worked for it, grandma got to chill, no problem. Yeah. But if you want these nice things, you have to work for it. And the thing is, I keep saying you live once. Most people say, "Oh, you shouldn't spoil your kids," because I get people around me all the time who know me personally. They're like, "Oh, you're over spoiling your kids."
I bet that, yeah.
And the thing is, I'm like, I'm probably going to be gone in 30, 40 years, mate. Like, I'm only going to head this for 30, 40. I'm done after that. Let them enjoy it. Like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You go to the bottom, you learn. You go to the top, you learn. I don't know. As in, like, I'm going to take the risk. I've taken so many risks already in my life, and I'm happy to take that risk. I've got other kids. I've got another daughter. She's 9. Yeah, that you guys have never seen online because she's in the video. We've done a video in Barbie, in Dubai, and she's in the car with Moo. And my son's in the car, and my son was ducking, and my daughter was ducking, but my camera person got it, so you can only see Moo.
Do you ever think about like the privacy element or the security element? In terms of like putting a young girl out there with that much, money is a big target, obviously.
100%.
Do you worry about that?
Yeah, I had a massive concern in regards to her safety. Hence the reason why she walks around with security.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I have security with me nearly all the time. Even today I was on the
you have to in London.
Yeah, so
if you've got
I was asked you, is it safe to come? And I completely forgot where we were. I don't even know where it was. I was driving here, putting ways, and I've got people that will follow me back to back in certain situations, like 3-4 cars, 2-3 guys, dogs in a car, like security dogs. They're all ready to make sure to protect me at any level, and they're there all the time at any minute. It's permanent payroll. Right. So it's done. I've signed that contract. It's a lifetime contract I have with them.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I ask how much that?
I was about to say.
Can I ask how much that is?
Curious.
Like, if you're really uncomfortable, we can take it off air. But I'm curious to know like how
we can
much.
Cut it if we need to.
So basically, for my I offer a consultancy fee to the owner of the business, and he's giving me unlimited supply of security at any time for anyone I know, all the time with any car I want.
Really?
Yeah. So basically, he's giving me a percentage share in his security business.
Yeah.
He offered me 25%. I said I don't want 25% of your business, but I want unlimited security at any time. He said done.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what the usual rate is for that kind of thing? Like,
I would say for an embassy car, I get a diplomat car. I get driven a diplomat car, so you can't stop that car. without calling the embassy.
Wait, what?
But yeah, I didn't know that was a rule. Okay.
Yeah, so like basically these diplomat
Yeah,
cars.
I've seen them around.
Yeah, so basically you can't stop these cars. I mean, his security company told me, he's like, these cars can't be stopped, but you can stop anyway. It's not a problem. But we're just trying to get to our destination.
Yeah,
we're not trying. There's no. But then the cars behind, I'll say like 1,000 per car. Because you got 2 security in a car plus a car.
Yeah.
So like 1,000 a day basically for a car to kind of
probably more. Because I've got like, you know, the last time I really used them was because when I was in London just before I left, and it was 3 cars with 6 security and a dog. The dog's about 300-400 quid for the day. The security about 500 each, so it would have cost about 3,500. And the petrol.
Okay, so what if devil's advocate, someone's like, do you really need that much? Like, you know, you get 1 car, maybe a couple of goons. Like, is that enough?
No, I mean, it is enough, but he just does it because he loves me.
Right.
As in, like, the amount of respect he has. Yeah. I said I need 1 car, 1 guy.
Yeah.
Just send your biggest guy. And he's like, no, I'm sending 2. As in, because he knows security. He's like, Adam, like, 1's not enough because something went down. If they can rob you, you're not gonna be protected with 1 guy. He's like, no, I'll send a backup car behind that car to protect you, to make sure. So then he was like, no, I'll send another car to just protect you just in case something went down, because obviously the situation that we're in, a lot of people will see me, they might know me, and maybe there are people who hate, people who don't, you know, respect people that maybe, I don't know.
Have you ever had a situation?
Me, no.
Your family?
Yeah, loads of threats. Little threat, I'll kidnap your kid, I'll kill you.
Really?
Yeah, you give us money, ransom.
That's terrifying.
That's like...
How do you separate that? Like, because that's terrifying.
My wife, somebody, you know, I mean, you know, they're not here now, but somebody tried to break into my house with my wife in the house. They came, 3, 4, 5 goons came, and like they were not coming to rob. They came to break the house down because we saw the footprint on the door. They couldn't get into my door because of the security doors I have, and they were just trying to bang the door down. Then my wife's calling me. I was in Dubai. She's like, "Babe, someone's trying to break into the house." I'm like, "All right, no, the security. Everyone's." But I had people in the house that were protecting my wife. My wife's like, "Babe, I'm scared even with the security." I'm like, "The security are not letting them in. Like, as in they've got you covered. They're here for a reason." And then like, my daughter was scared. My other daughter was in the house. As soon as that happened, I came back to London straight away. I was in Dubai, and they moved. I got a house in Dubai for them. They're gone.
How do you know when you're ready for security?
When you start getting threats and people start coming for you. When people start coming for you and people come to your house, and the police police came round, and the police knew who we were. The police were like, we know who you are. The one police officer was like, everyone knows in a police station, and we assumed this is going to be a kidnapping. This is going to be someone coming for you to hold ransom. As soon as I heard that, we got out of the house. My father was like, you know, thank the Lord, he's got so many houses. He's like, go to this house, go stay there, and leave the country. And my wife was like, babe, I want to go to Dubai. I was like, babe, you are going to Dubai. So the business for Love Luxury wasn't just like, oh, we're gonna go to Dubai, open a Love Luxury. It was like, babe, we're going to Dubai regardless. But if you're gonna go there, you might as well do like the Love Luxury business, because that's who we are, and our brand is there. People know us there, etc. So it was more for safety. Dubai is more for safety reasons. To be honest with you.
It's obviously it says LDN to Dubai. What's your time split between London and Dubai? Yeah.
I'm 2 weeks. 2 weeks. They're full time. They're permanent. They're not coming back.
Oh, wait. So they live in Dubai permanently.
That's it. Done.
And
They've
you're
gone.
2 weeks in London, 2 weeks in Dubai.
2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Yeah.
And it was the housebreaking that prompted that.
Yeah.
That was the fun. That was
just the fun. That was just
Nice.
to leave now. Yeah. I mean, we wanted to go anyway to sort of do things, but that was just like, go. You know, you can't put price on family. You can't put price on safety. I would spend so much money to protect everyone around me, having security, bulletproof. I've got bulletproof glass in the stores, security doors, Euro grade 6 safes. I've spent so much money on security. People think I'm nuts. I'm like, no.
Out of interest, do they still have security in Dubai? Because I mean, like,
yeah, we got security in our house. In Dubai.
Well, I more mean because obviously Dubai is quite an affluent place. It's got a lot of rich people, and there's obviously the crime is notoriously very, very non-existent. So, do you still need, you know, security for your family in Dubai?
Because you have drivers and maids and people to be in the house. We've got maids' rooms and drivers' rooms in the house. So you have, like, I've had a security as a driver as opposed to a driver.
Right, I'm with you.
So,
Okay.
but the thing is, it's not really to protect, because there's not really much going on. Our whole road is like, everyone on the road seems to be a lot richer than what I can even imagine.
How are they finding living in Dubai versus London?
Yeah, we've been talking about this a lot.
Because
They
we've been talking
love it.
Yeah.
My wife was like, oh my, like, she just doesn't even want to enter the UK anymore. She's like, I don't even want to go.
I feel like this would be the problem with it. As soon as you go, it's like,
You don't want to
just
come
don't
back.
wanna come
We've
back.
been
Yeah,
okay.
it's
So
just-
I want to get your opinion on this. We've been debating this quite a lot recently. We both agree that we probably don't want to be in London long term, just because of the way that London seems to be going. he's very keen on Dubai. I've never been, so I'll say that I haven't actually been. And I know that there's a lot of amazing things about Dubai in terms of like, you know, the culture, in terms of, you know, the crime rate, everything. And also the community and the kind of the way the society's run. But I feel like the thing that I think is maybe holding me back, and again, I haven't been, is one, it feels like maybe it's a little bit too materialistic for my taste, a little bit too much sort of extravagance, maybe for me. And also I do quite like the greenery of England and like the nature side of England and the countryside kind of element that England could offer. And I don't know how I'd feel about living in a more desert-based environment. What are your thoughts? Because he's very big on the idea of like, we should take the business to Dubai, we should move to Dubai. And I'm like, well, I don't know if that would suit me.
I mean, for the business, I think it would do a lot better.
Yeah,
to be completely honest with you. But
Yeah.
in regards to moving to Dubai, if you asked me 6 months ago, I would never have considered moving to Dubai. And because my father's here, my mother lives in the UK. Even though we went to, but it's still my mother. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've got all my family here, and it's all here for me. But being on social media, after that feeling, it's like I want to get away from here. And then, you know, when I go to Dubai, not in a bad way, like it's a lot more profitable for me.
Yeah.
Like in regards to business, everything seems to be like a lot easier. The trust is there. You know, here everyone's like worried. It's not gonna go right. It always goes right, but it's just that worry. Even when you know it's gonna go right, it's still that worry. But there, it's that though. It's like it doesn't happen. I don't know. As in, I've been back and forth a lot recently.
Yeah.
And I'm going back next week. I just landed 2 days ago. I'm leaving again, as you know. And I don't really want to come back.
Really?
Hand to, I don't want to come back. Like, I land back here and I'm like, I don't like it. I wear a watch, I'll take it off.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
I saw that AP even I've actually now
Yeah.
brought in a rule where
Yeah.
they will replace your watch if it gets stolen
Yeah.
in London,
Who's
which
that?
is just
Who-
crazy.
who brought that in?
Audemars Piguet.
Audemars put that
Yeah,
as
do
a
you remember the
rule?
watch I was? Remember I was
Oh,
watch I
they
was showing
did bring
you?
that in a rule. You told me, yeah.
And they were telling me that they brought that in, and I'm just like, that's just to get to that point where that watch brand has brought that in. It's just crazy. That
You
gives
know.
you an
But
idea.
is it-
of
is it-
like,
Sorry, not to cut you off. When you say you don't want to come back, is it because of the crime?
It's a crime. It's everything here. It doesn't
20
seem...
mile an hour speed limits.
There
Yeah,
you go.
that's not
No, but it's
good.
the same there.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it?
it's the same. Speed
okay.
limits are the same. So
Okay.
driving, you can't drive fast there.
Right.
Yeah, as in you go prison there for driving
Yeah,
fast.
it
If that
would,
makes
yeah,
sense.
it would-
yeah.
you actually wouldn't
It's
drive
a bit
fast,
different
yeah,
there
yeah.
in regards to that. There's a lot more rules, a lot more regulations. But for me, because I'm Muslim, it's a massive benefit. So the difference between here and there is, I'll be honest with you, is my faith for my religion. Because I'm extremely religious in my heart and I practice my faith. When I'm there, I get to pray 5 times a day, 6 times. There's 5 daily compulsory prayers. There's one prayer that in the UK I found really hard to pray.
Fajr.
It's before Fajr and after Isha.
Oh.
It's in the morning at 2 o'clock where you wake up and it says it's an invitation only by the Lord. He only has the people he's invited at that time, and it is basically it's you and the Lord you and the Lord alone. And that's before Fajr and after Isha. There's 5 prayers a day, and it's in between the last and the first, and that's your connection with your Lord, and it's an invitation.
Can I ask you? And maybe we'll cut this out if it's not relevant for the interview. But I genuinely really want to know because I've been learning a lot about Islam recently. One of the things that I can't wrap my head around is with Fajr. Which do you want to just give context what Fajr is for people that?
It's the first prayer in the morning. It's around 4:30, 4:55 at the moment. It's 2 rakat. If you don't know what it is, you go down, up and down 2 times. It's the prayer. It's the thank. We pray to thank our Lord for everything He's bestowed on us, He blessed us with, and it's a compulsory prayer that we have to do.
So, very succinct explanation, by the way. That was great. So, obviously, Fajr, as you said, is at like 4:30, and Isha, I think, is at like 11, right?
Yeah.
The sleep. We know that how important sleep is, and you know the data seems to be fairly clear that you need sort of 7 to 8 hours, generally speaking. I can't understand how I would be able to incorporate 5 prayers a day between Isha and Fajr.
How much sleep do you need?
8 hours.
You need 8?
Yeah.
Oh, no problem. So then what you do is you go sleep after Isha, wake up for Fajr at 4:30. How long does Fajr take you? Do you know how long it takes you?
No.
So-
I don't forget,
No.
I haven't done it.
So basically, how long does wudu take you? Because you done wudu once.
I would have took me maybe 3 minutes.
3
maybe.
minutes.
Yeah.
So Fajr will take you another 4 minutes.
Okay.
So it's about 10 minutes. When you wake up for the night, you might want to go toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be like you drank too much water.
Yeah.
It's, you just want to go quick pee. That takes you about 3-4 minutes. It's really similar to waking up, doing wudu. You're still half asleep, by the way, when you're praying Fajr. You're not awake. You sort of wake up and then you sort of like and then you sort of pray and you're like. And
I think, do you want to give clarity on what wudu is as well?
Wudu is ablution, it's cleansing yourself. So we start cleaning our hands, our mouth, our nose, our arms up to our elbows, our hair, our neck towards our ears, and our feet up to the ankles. And we clean ourselves to clean ourselves to pray to our Lord, just to get in a good clean state. And then when we pray, we sort of pray and we sort of thank the Lord for everything. And there's certain words we pray in Arabic. Yeah, Surah Fatiha is the first one, and then we pray up with a surah after that, and it takes about 5 minutes at max, about 4:30 in the morning, and it's really quiet because everyone's sleeping. My wife's sleeping, the kids are sleeping, and I'm there like that.
Is your wife Muslim as well?
She's Muslim,
okay,
but she can only pray certain times in a month. Yeah,
of course,
because
right.
women have periods.
Yeah.
So they don't pray on a period. Yeah.
Okay.
So if it's not, we pray together because we pray together every single day for around 4 years together.
Really?
Yeah. So we pray together.
Was she
every
Muslim
single
before
day.
she met you?
No.
Right.
But my wife is like, when I was praying, when I was with her at the beginning, I was praying, and she was watching me. She's like, "What are you doing?" So I was, "I'm praying." She said, "What for?" I was like, "I don't really know." I was like, I didn't know as much as I knew today.
Yeah.
And she's like questioning me. All right, so in Islam, what is this? I was like, I don't know. I'm not a sheikh. Asking me like I'm a teacher of this religion. I'm like, I don't. And she goes, so you're praying, but you don't know anything you're doing. I'm like, no, I don't. So I said, all right, watch this guy called Mufti Menk. Yeah, and then like she started watching Mufti Menk, and that's who she.
Oh, you put her onto Menk.
I put her onto Menk.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
Okay,
but then because I put myself onto him as well at the same time because he's a serious guy. But
Yeah.
and then she started questioning so much about the religion, and there was so many inconsistencies in her head.
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, so she's like, oh, but that doesn't sound right, or this doesn't sound right. And she asked me a question, and I've answered, and I've gone, no, actually, ask Mufti Menk. Yeah, ask someone who actually knows the answer, because I have no idea. She's learning all of this stuff, and now I'm learning. For the first time in my life, I'm learning about a religion that I've practiced.
How old was it? Were you when this was happening, roughly?
It's like 5-6 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, as in like, we really got together, and I was like, practicing.
Yeah.
Because she was not practicing before she was Jehovah's Witness.
Whoa.
Yeah, so she's Jehovah's Witness, and then
was she serious about religion?
Yeah, she was serious.
So she was actually like a proper Christian.
The thing is, I let people do what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's not up to me to say this is what you got to do. Yeah, I'm just doing what I'm doing.
Was that an issue for you though?
No,
but marrying a non-Muslim.
No problems with me whatsoever.
Right.
I don't have a problem with people. I have a problem with religion. Even though my religion states it might not be, it's not the true religion. It's their belief.
Right.
They don't. Nothing. It's not against my religion. My religion's not against them. Yeah, as in, they don't know the truth. If we say, if you don't know the truth, there's nothing wrong with not knowing the truth. Like if I've given you the answer and now you know it's the truth and you go against it, that's up to you. I'm not a judge. I live my life. I have my rules. I do what I'm doing, and that's it. You can do what you're doing, no problem.
Respect.
Yeah, do your thing. It's not my stress. Yeah, this is my stress. I'm taking care of myself. If I can help you, please come. You can enjoy. We enjoy this feast together. We enjoy this this amazing feeling together. If it's not for you, I respect what you got to do. Do your thing. And she started watching me a lot, praying every day, and she started asking me all these questions. And then it took about a year or two. Started saying, "All right, let me look into this," and then. It's just like, I don't know, just like click a finger, it just happened.
She's to the Shahada.
Yeah, she took Shahada, and she was just like, wow. And then when she started practicing, she went deep.
Yeah, one of my friends said to me,
like deeper than me. I was like, babe, like we still.
No one really follows that.
Yeah. We're part time. Yeah. And she's like, no, but my wife is like, if I'm doing this. I'm doing it.
Do you know what's funny?
Yeah.
One of my friends, the one I actually shout out Mohammed, my friend who took me to Jummah, he said to me, I remember once, I was like, would it be a thing though if I actually did end up converting? Wouldn't it be a thing where like people would look at me kind of funny because I'm a white guy? No. And he said, bro, I tell you, because he's from Dubai, he goes, bro, I tell you, if I took you to my family in Dubai, they would love you. He said, I would love you even more because you found the religion on your own, and you're actually, and he goes, people that find it on their own end up taking it even more seriously sometimes because they found it. So they go, well, if I'm going to take it seriously, I'm going to take it seriously, which I think is kind of what you just said about your
you
wife.
Would, if you like became Muslim, for example, and you was on the deen, you would feel so much love.
I have already.
Yeah, as in like even without being on the deen, the amount of love you get when you come on the deen, the amount of love you get, you're gonna be like, what?
Bro, I will say it is crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy. This is the one thing that I observed most when I went to Jummah. I'm speaking to some people about this. The amount of warmth I've received from my Muslim friends when they find out I'm even genuinely just even interested in learning more about Islam is unbelievable. It's a genuine like degree of warmth that I've never experienced before.
I just feel they know that you're gonna find something that they've already found, and it's like we found gold. And the thing is, when you know someone is struggling, and then they find that gold, and we won together, or we all won the lottery. It feels like we've all got the winning ticket. And the thing is, when you're part of the winning team, and that's like someone's someone's jumping onto the winning team, you're like, wow, you're like, welcome to the winning team, because we want everyone to win. Like, I want everyone to win. I want the whole world to have everything. I just don't want everyone to suffer. I don't want no one to suffer. So if we're all winning together, we're winning together. So at the end of the day, I feel as though when you come on the deen and you're in Dubai, it's like mikasa sukasa. You know, my house is your house because you're on the path. Because if you come to my house and I'm saying you're not on the deen, there's nothing wrong with that. But then if you're like, oh, I'm gonna go out for a drink, I can't do that, bro. You know, we can't go chill together. Yeah, you're like, oh, you know, I'm gonna have a smoke. We can't chill together. I'm sorry, my wife's here, my kids are here. I can't have you around them, like influencing them. You might say something by accident. Oh, yeah, I wanna go and link this girl. Yeah, I can't have that.
Well, that's another thing. I've realized that the way I live generally, I notice I already live in quite a lot of alignment with the religion anyway. I fast every day. I've been fasting for years. I'm a very big proponent of fasting. I don't drink anymore. I haven't drunk in a very long time. I'm noticing more and more things that are making more and more sense. Even little things I said to a friend of mine about, like, you know, trim the moustache but let the beard grow, things like that, where I was like, well, when I once grew out my beard and I grew the moustache out, I was like, this is really unhygienic, all the food's getting in the way, and when you trim it down it's much more hygienic, and the beard feels more like there's a sense of power I feel like I get when I grow facial hair out. Little things like this. Again, we might even cut this out of the episode.
This is sunnah.
Exactly, this is sunnah. And my friend
It's
actually
to
said,
protect
bro,
us.
your hair is sunnah as well,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
same thing.
It's a protection, by the way.
How is your, just on this point, like, how is your wife's life changed as a result of taking up this faith?
To be honest with you, I just feel as if though she's elevated by 1,000 or 10,000 steps
Really?
in everything she's ever done.
Wow,
Like everything
okay.
she's touched has turned into gold, like, or diamonds or any, like, she just does things and it's all like sponsorships. Want everyone sponsor, everyone wants to, you know, everything she wants is being given to her on a plate. Like she's like, oh, I want to be on that show, they call her. And I'm like, oh, do you really want to be on it? She goes, I don't really want to be on it anymore. That's great. You know, alhamdulillah, at least whatever you want is given to you. And also, it's like, I don't know, I just think it's, when you're on the deen, I think that, like the Lord accepts your prayers.
And can you just explain to me what the deen is?
Religion.
When you say you're on the deen.
Yeah, so like when you're practicing your religion,
Yeah.
I just find as though the Lord accepts your prayers. And he says, pray for anything. Ask me for anything you want. He wants you to ask. He wants you to pray. He wants to ask you. He said, I'm giving you all of this. I've given you your life. I've given you your looks. When someone says, oh, she doesn't look beautiful or he doesn't look handsome, the Lord made you. Yeah, we are all beautiful and we are all handsome. And, you know, there is no wrong and there's no right. Yeah, the Lord has blessed us with everything we have. And he's asked for certain things. He's asked you to stay clean and pure within yourself. Like protect, you know, we're protectors of our family, and he's asked for certain things like fast in Ramadan, for example, pray your salah and ask for what you want. And every time I pray every single day, and I always have dua, which is a prayer at the end, and that's to ask for, you know. And the first thing I ask for is to forgive me for my sins. Yeah, forgive for anything I've done knowingly and not knowingly, because sometimes you do things you don't know. Yeah, protect my mouth. Yeah, protect my family from evil eye, shaitan, the devil. Yeah, and people who are not good for them. Yeah, and protect the ummah, which is protect the whole world. Yeah, and also offer protection to the people who have not come, that will come later, and offer protection to people who have come and who have now gone, who are in the grave, and also allow us, because we believe in heaven, allow us to be people who will enter heaven. Yeah, and allow my family members and my loved ones, and for us all to be together in the ummah and to go, and also allow our prophets from Adam to the last prophet, all the prophets, their companions, their loved ones, and everyone around them to be blessed and elevated. And there's all this love and warmth and giving and being able to be the best of people. And also a major prayer that I've been making for such a long time is to be the biggest of givers and the biggest of makers. And the reason why to be biggest of maker, because the more I can make is the more I can give. And, you know, I do charity work on a monthly basis, and I have a standing order or a direct debit that comes out every single month that I signed up to, that I was scared to sign up to, because the amount of, you know, it's not easy. You know, you got to make the money in order for it to go out of your account every month. Yeah, and in order to feed people, in order to, you know, people go, oh, does he give charity? Yeah, to be honest with you, it's not for me to tell people to, yeah, if I give charity, but I feel like complete when I give. I feel it helps me. I don't help them. I feel like I'm helping me. When I'm giving someone something, people think, oh wow, he's really generous. No, I'm helping me. I'm being selfish by giving you. I feel like I'm being selfish. I feel like, you know, I'm buying this person this, or I'm buying them a house, or I'm supporting all these families. I feel like I'm being selfish with myself.
Did you get a better feeling from that? From actually helping someone?
Yeah, I feel like I'm
yourself.
like I'm going on top of the world. I feel like but then I don't, you know, I haven't spoke about it to many people. I don't really talk about it to anybody. My wife knows, my father knows. And now people might hear, but you don't know the details of who I'm giving to and why I'm giving to them and the reasons of why I'm giving to them. It's just because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I feel as if though it's my duty to give these people something because the Lord has given me so much, and I feel it's not fair.
I really think people need to adhere by your principles. I really do. I think
agree.
the world would be it would be a much, much better place if people live with that mentality.
A lot of love in what you just said.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a prayer that I make every single day, and I say it out loud so my wife hears it. And my wife always says, "Babe, could you make the prayer?" And I have to always pray, it's always please give us, or please forgive us for anything we've done knowingly or not knowingly. That's up and foremost.
Did she face any backlash from her family or her community?
Everyone, loads of backlash. But it's a test. It's all a test. At the end of the day, I get tested every single day. It's a test for everyone. I said, but the thing is, we know that after like all of this, we know it's not for anybody. It's we do it because we love, like your parents. I am a firm believer of loving your parents, like to another level. Respecting your father to the highest level. Like bow, borderline. Like if I was allowed to bow my head to my father, I would bow my head to my father. I would bow my head to my mother. I would bow my head and say, I owe you everything. Even if you're not there, I still owe you everything. Because that is the love we have for our parents. And my father's my role model. I look up at him. Regardless of status and money. It's not about that. I look at my father. Even if he was a dustbin cleaner and the best of it, I look at my father. He's the highest rank to me personal. He's the highest rank in my eyes. Because he, and the way he loves me, that feeling, I know. It just goes in my heart. It comes out and I'm like, wow, I have someone in this world that loves me to pieces more than anyone ever. And my mother, she messages me every morning. Our relationship is completely different. I love her more than anything. I know she loves me more than anything, but we haven't had a physical connection a physical visibility connection from a young age. But we built up our relationship as I got older. And, it was like, I love you. And she's like, wow, but, I'm sorry. I said, no, you don't have to ever apologize for anything ever. I've got you completely. To the end of days, I've got you. Don't worry about anything. Anything you need, I've got you. Because the reason why I've got you is because he's got me, I've got you covered. Like, that's it. Even my family were like, she's married. She has kids. Her father, her husband would do this. I said, if her husband's not helping her, trust me, I'm helping her. And what about her husband? What if he takes the money? Let him take it. I'll give her more. Yeah, let her be the best she can be. And I said, Mum, whenever you need me, you come to me. I've got the house for you. I've got everything you need. Yeah, and that's it, finished. You ain't got to worry about you ain't got to rely on no man. Ever. And, I know for a fact, my mother called me the other day. She doesn't even know what I'm giving to her. She asks for a penny. She got the world. Oh, babe, I said, you ain't got to worry. But I haven't told her that. I don't want to tell her. I want her to come. She's gonna look. She lands on Friday, and I got a big surprise for her. I want her to be blessed.
I think that's every man's dream, bro.
Yeah,
I was even
blessed.
saying like next year. I'm trying to get my mum a car next year. That's my goal. That's like top of the list. Like
buy her that car this year.
Yeah.
Like forget next year. Buy her the car this year. Next year might not come.
Well, I mean, if the podcast keeps growing,
we just need to keep scaling.
Inshallah. If the podcast keeps growing, we'll see.
Inshallah.
Bro, I wanted to say before we wrap up, a couple questions. First of all, you said at the beginning you wouldn't recommend people go into the cash converting business. You'd be like, don't do it. Would you recommend people go into the luxury business?
Yeah, it's a beautiful business. It's clean, it's halal, it feels straight, it's a blessing in disguise. I love it, but it's experience. I feel as if though you can either make money, you can potentially lose your money if you don't know what you're doing, because like watch it up and down. And I've learned the market very quickly because I invested a lot of money into it.
2020 was crazy.
Yeah, and things, the amount of money I've invested
Yeah.
in stock, it's mental. So, at the end of the day, if I lose that money, am I afraid to lose the money? I'm not afraid. But most people would probably be afraid because that's their pot. And they're not going to, they might not come back from it very quickly.
So what if someone's getting started and they say, I'm so inspired by this guy's story, I want to get involved. Where do I start?
You start small. You trade. You don't buy, you trade, you source. You become a person that is trusted and that people can go to and that you can, they can rely on. Because people rely on me on a daily basis. People come to me, we've sourced, I think, 4 watches today, alhamdulillah, yeah? Which is, someone says, I'm going to send you the money. Please find me this. And we can say, well, everyone's selling it for £100. We can sell it for £120. But you can buy it for £100 from everyone else. No, I want to pay you £120. Source it for me, please. Why? Why us? Because first of all, I think it's a blessing from the Lord, and second of all, because they trust us.
Reputation.
Yeah, and they rather give us the £20 extra, so we do all the due diligence. We make sure 100% guaranteed. I've got your back. I've got your back, but you're paying extra for that.
Yeah, the premiums for the reputation.
That's it. So at the end of the day, we get a lot of that, and that's a massive blessing.
Dude, this was like
This was huge. This is honestly like one of my favorite conversations.
Genuinely.
Genuinely, like touching on everything from religion. Like I learned a lot just from listening to you. I know obviously he's done a lot more research into it than I have, but I've learned a lot just from listening to you. I think you seem like an incredibly wholesome, humble, like role model for your family. I really have a lot of respect for the way that you're approaching life, and I meant it when I said, look, if everyone actually tried to appreciate it and I suppose actually go into life with your mentality, the world would be a much better place.
Absolutely, man. And I think also to add to that, I'm a big believer in fate. I know he is too. But I think the fact that I've been learning so much recently about business, about myself, but also about Islam, I think the fact that you came on and you ended up speaking about it to the extent that you did, I think everything happens for a reason. I mean, yeah. Thank you so much for touching on that, bro. And just
and also, if you ever do take your shahada, please invite me.
Yeah,
I want to be there. Yeah.
Okay, I'll make you a promise. All right. Inshallah.
I appreciate it. I want to enjoy that. I want to enjoy it as well at the same time because I know it's been a massive thing for you, but it's also a massive thing for people who love you. And the thing is, at the end of the day, this world needs love, and I know, it'll be a massive blessing for all of us to be there at that time. And you'll be the right people. I can also put you up with the right connections. If you need Mufti Monk, we'll get Mufti Monk.
Yeah? Bro, if I got Mufti Monk doing my shahada, that'd be crazy.
No, I mean, Mufti Monk will be there. Allah knows best, because at the end of the day, Mufti Monk is here for the brothers, and there's people that it's a very small circle of people around us. So it's just about making a call to a brother and saying, this is what we need in order for our brother to come to the deen. And then, in order for that to happen, you think Mufti Monk's not going to come? He's like, where in London are you? I'm flying there because it's his duty, by the way. If you didn't know that, it's his duty. Yeah. As a Muslim, if you called me, if someone calls me right now, anywhere in the world, and they said, if you are here, I'm going to tell Muslim, brother, I'm gone. I'm going. Do you know why I'm going? Because that is the biggest thing. The blessing I get from when I pass away, and if they're still alive, and people that they've brought to the deen, and the rewards I get from being in the grave when someone's praying for me, saying, "Oh, my brother Adam was here from the beginning," and I got the feeling from him. That's my blessing done. I'm done. I already built my paradise. I built my paradise from just going to see that brother take shahada because I was there with him. Alhamdulillah.
Bro, this is what I mean about the energy in the community. Do you see what I'm saying? I've been talking about this with him quite a lot recently. I've been just talking about what I've been learning. But this is what I mean by this energy in this community of like, I've never heard people talk like that.
No, I completely agree. I haven't either.
So much love in this room, bro. Honestly, so grateful for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
bro,
it.
we wrap up with the same question at the end of every episode, which is, if you could give someone one piece of practical advice if they're looking at starting a business, what would it be? So obviously, because we focus on the practical, it's the ground floor, it's how you did it. So less, work hard, believe in yourself, more something tangible. Could be marketing, profit, product, anything, but something practical. What would you say?
So I'm going to start off with saying Bismillah.
Okay. And what does Bismillah mean for anyone?
It's in the name of the Lord, the most merciful, the most beneficial. Alhamdulillah. It's just, with business for me now, my only piece of advice is, because I know the true meaning to life is to just bow your head down 5 times. I'll be honest with you. I can't, there's nothing else I can say for business, and that will make your business successful. I swear to you, because that structure it gives you, when you bow your head 5 times a day and you're on that path, there's nothing that takes you left or right. You can't go to drugs, you can't go to women, you can't fornicate, you can't do anything. All you're focusing on is your business. And that power that you get from being focused makes you successful. That's what I know, because I'm married, I'm straight, I got my kids, I love everyone. I'm just on some superpower mode, and without that prayer, there was no superpower. I was light, I was easy, I was flying away. I was derailing, left, right, up, down, hit my boom, boom. Now it's just just too focused. It's power. So the thing is, that is my answer. I can't tell you start work hard, be focused, doing this, because at the end of the day, you're gonna derail. The first step is to be straight. That makes your business successful. Because if you're saying you're gonna be successful, but then you got an addiction problem, you got to stop that first. But the way to stop every single thing is by praying your 5 times salah a day. Because that 5 times, every single time is a reminder. You're reminding yourself all day long, I got to be good, I got to be clean, I got to be this, my attention, that was wrong, okay, I'm going to stop that, I'm not going to do that again. And you do it again, I'm going to stop, I'm not going to do it again, I'm not going to do it again. Oh, please forgive me, please forgive. All of a sudden you stop it. Because every time you remind yourself, I can't do it.
And it's not long till the next time you have to remind yourself.
Yeah, because you're like, I feel so guilty, I'm not going to do it again. And all of a sudden you stop it, because you just can't do it. You're so guilty about doing something, you just stop it, and all of a sudden you stop every single thing along your path, and then there's only one way. It's just up And that's when I feel that most successful people, that's when I find that certain people that are on this straight, it could be any religion. It's not even deep. It's like anyone who's focused on that clean path can be super successful. So if you're not out there and you don't believe in Islam, no problem. Just follow the same guidelines. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, as in, maybe don't pray 5 times a day. I can't tell you to meditate 5 times a day. Do what you got to do. Yeah. You know, I can't tell you to, I used to stay in a Buddhist temple. So I used to meditate. So I understand the concept of meditation. It's a strong, powerful thing. If you could meditate 5 times a day for 5, 10, 15 minutes, 5 times a day, that's a superpower. As long as you're focused, and that will also elevate you. I'm not telling you, I can tell you to say, do that. But I'm saying, I believe it will also help.
That's powerful advice.
Adam, thank you so much, man. This has been a hell of a conversation. One of my favorites. I mean,
thank you.
we've been running
it.
for like...
No, it has. I don't even know how long. How long has it been now?
I feel like it's
2
been
hours
like
or something?
nearly coming up to 2 hours now. That's
Alhamdulillah.
one of our longest ones. So yeah, thank you so much, brother. Really, really appreciate you coming on. Really bless you to give us your time. Bro, where can people find you?
So yeah, to pray for me. First of all,
that one right over there, that's
so
you.
guys, everyone out there, if you want to follow Mr. Adam Abraham, you can do. But first and foremost, just pray for me if you can. And if not, then I'll pray for you. And that's about it. Because at the end of the day, I'm here for you and you're here for me. And we love each other. We're going to be all gone soon one day. And I just say, bless everyone. That's it. Assalamu alaikum.
What an amazing way to end on that.
Dude, like, I like, yeah.
So much love, so much
Love
respect,
that.
so much good
Love
energy
that.
in the studio right now. Guys, if you enjoyed that, please do subscribe, turn on post notifications. It will help us grow the channel, get more amazing guests like Adam. And if you're listening on Spotify, review, leave 5 stars. Anything you can do to help grow this channel really, really does mean a lot to us. So we really appreciate you. But for now, Adam, thank you so much, brother.
You're
Really
very
appreciate you
welcome.
coming on.
Thank you. I
Real
appreciate
pleasure.
you.
My man.
Thank you so much. And I
Honestly.
appreciate you too. Thank you so much.
Coming on,
Guys, we'll
honestly.
see you in the next one.